August 9th, 1969. Dawn broke over Los Angeles, casting a golden light on a city already grappling with the anxieties of a turbulent decade. The 1960s had promised peace and love, but the dream was fading. The Vietnam War raged, political assassinations had become chillingly commonplace, and a chasm was widening between generations. Yet nothing could have prepared America for the horrors that would unfold that day. News spread like wildfire. 5 brutal murders, a pregnant actress, Sharon Tate, her unborn child, and 3 friends, slaughtered in a Benedict Canyon mansion. The savagery was unimaginable, the details too gruesome to comprehend. Fear gripped the city, then the nation. This wasn't just another crime, it was a violation, a tearing of the social fabric. The peace and love mantra of the hippie movement seemed to morph overnight into something sinister, something terrifyingly real. The name Charles Manson, once whispered in the underbelly of Hollywood's drug and music scene, became synonymous with pure evil. His followers, the so-called Manson Family, young men and women seemingly seduced by his twisted charisma, became the embodiment of a generation's dark side. The murders sent shockwaves through America, exposing the fragility of the peace and love facade and leaving an indelible scar on the nation's psyche. This wasn't just a crime, it was a cultural earthquake, a jolting reminder that darkness could lurk beneath even the sunniest of exteriors. 20 years later, the Manson family murders remained a morbid fascination. Books and documentaries explored the crimes, each attempting to unravel the enigma of Charles Manson and the motivations behind the seemingly senseless killings. Yet for journalist Tom O'Neill, something didn't add up. In 1999, tasked with writing a piece commemorating the 30th anniversary of the murders for Premiere magazine, O'Neill embarked on what he thought would be a routine assignment. Little did he know he was stepping into a labyrinth of unanswered questions and disturbing contradictions, a journey that would consume him for the next 2 decades.
I approached the Manson case with a healthy dose of skepticism. I devoured court transcripts, police reports, and witness testimonies, expecting to find inconsistencies, perhaps even oversights.
What he unearthed, however, was far more unsettling. The official narrative, the one accepted by the public and perpetuated by the media, began to crumble under the weight of his findings. Discrepancies in witness accounts, questionable police procedures, and a pervasive sense that something was being deliberately obscured fueled O'Neill's suspicions.
I began to suspect that the truth about the Manson murders was far more complex and sinister than anyone had dared to imagine.
His initial article, intended to be a straightforward retrospective, morphed into a deep dive into the heart of the case. As O'Neill dug deeper, he encountered resistance from those connected to the original investigation. Doors were slammed in his face, phone calls went unanswered, and a palpable fear seemed to permeate his interactions with anyone who had been close to the case. This only strengthened his resolve.
I was uncovering something significant, something that someone, somewhere wanted to remain buried.
The ghosts of Hollywood, it seemed, were eager to guard their secrets. As O'Neill delved deeper, it became increasingly clear that the LAPD's investigation was riddled with inconsistencies and oversights. Witnesses described seeing different cars and individuals at the crime scenes, contradicting the official narrative. Evidence was mishandled and crucial leads were seemingly ignored.
The more I uncovered, the more I questioned whether the LAPD had been truly committed to finding the truth, or whether they were more concerned with presenting a neat and tidy solution, regardless of its veracity.
One of the most glaring inconsistencies involved the testimony of Linda Kasabian, a former Manson family member who became the prosecution's star witness. Kasabian, granted immunity for her cooperation, provided chilling accounts of the nights of the murders. However, her story shifted over time, with details changing and memories conveniently resurfacing as needed.
My research revealed that Kasabian had been heavily medicated during the trial, raising serious questions about the reliability of her testimony. Was she a traumatized victim seeking to appease the authorities, or was she a master manipulator, crafting a narrative to secure her freedom?
Further investigation uncovered potential instances of prosecutorial misconduct. Evidence suggested that the prosecution had withheld information from the defense, potentially impacting the outcome of the trial. The line between justice and expediency had become blurred, leaving O'Neill to wonder if the desire for a swift conviction had overshadowed the pursuit of the truth.
The legal system designed to uphold fairness and due process seemed to have failed in the face of public pressure and the horrific nature of the crimes.
O'Neill's investigation extended beyond the LAPD, leading him to uncover a web of connections between Manson and prominent figures in Hollywood. The enigmatic cult leader, once dismissed as a deranged drifter, had ingratiated himself into the city's elite circles. He frequented parties hosted by music producers and rubbed shoulders with actors and musicians.
These weren't just fleeting encounters. Manson cultivated relationships, leveraging his charisma and musical aspirations to gain access to wealth and influence.
O'Neill discovered that Manson had been an aspiring musician, even recording music with Dennis Wilson, the drummer for the Beach Boys. This connection provided Manson with a degree of legitimacy and introduced him to a world of wealth and fame. He craved recognition, fantasizing about becoming a rock star. His association with Wilson opened doors, but it also exposed him to the darker side of Hollywood, a world of drugs, exploitation, and unchecked egos.
The extent of Manson's Hollywood connections remains shrouded in mystery. Rumors persist of high-profile individuals who attended parties at the Spahn Ranch, the Manson family's makeshift commune.
However, many of these individuals have remained tight-lipped, their silence fueling speculation about what they witnessed and the role they may have played in protecting Manson or obscuring his activities. The deeper O'Neill delved, the more apparent it became that the official narrative, one that depicted Manson as a lone wolf, was incomplete. He was surrounded by enablers, individuals who, whether wittingly or unwittingly, facilitated his rise and, perhaps, his descent into madness.